Going, we shall go. Brilliant. We are live. I am Mad Frankie. This is Violet Igor over here. And together we make the Mad Scientists. There we go. That was quite well done, that one.
That
Yeah.
was good. That was really good. Hi, everyone. Let's say hi to everyone. Let's say hi. Anne was in here like Johnny spot on. Hi,
Yeah.
Anne. Hi, Candy. Hi, Fran.
Hi,
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 Liz.
hi, Belinda.
Hi,
Hello,
Belinda.
everybody that popped in. There'll be
Yeah,
more popping in soon, I think.
more.
In the meantime, let's talk about what we're going to do. Well, I have got here some things I've been doing. That's really terrible, but I can go over it with something, I reckon, and turn it back into what it ought to be. So that's a bit, it's dependent on the different types of inks I've used. And I used Adirondack on this, and it's a bit smudgy. You can see that it's lost a lot of its definition.
Yes, it has.
Whereas others, these are stays on, that's much better definition. And I thought I'd go over the eye with a black, I'm not sure what to use on it that will shrink well. Uh, Maybe something like, no, not that.
I guess you'll find out.
Well, I can try almost anything and just see what happens. But I thought I wanted the eye black, you see.
Oh,
There we
dear
go.
Fran. You know what?
SB.
I
What I
have to
tried.
ask you to be uncomfortable again.
Why? Oh, yes. Sorry. I took it off because I was talking to you. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, hang on.
when it's just the two of us, I don't care about that echo. It doesn't bother me, but hi,
It's,
Colleen. When we're in the stream, we don't
there we
want you guys to hear the echo.
go. No, get rid of the echo. Should be
There
able to
you
cure it when I finally get back upstairs if I ever do. So this is my shrink plastic, and this is the one I'm using. And it's like I said before, oops, don't want to do that. It shrinks to 7 times smaller and 7 times thicker. And this one up here on the book is one I did many, many years ago. This one, you can see that it is quite thick.
Yes, it
And
is.
that,
So when you I like those. That's very nice. When you cook yours down, do you just pop it in the oven?
no, I just use a heat gun.
Oh, I was gonna
And
say,
the
um,
original stamp I did it from, hand
Ian would
carved.
be impressed that you would be cooking.
No, he wouldn't. It'd be absolutely flabbergasted. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I've done all these. Now I'm not going to use all of these, but I had to use up the sheet, didn't I? So this is the last one to cut. I'm just going to cut it up. Been using this pair of scissors. I did have a question for everybody. Has anybody used an acrylic masking fluid? Now I've used a masking fluid for watercolors, but I've never used one with acrylics. And does it work as well if you do use one? And which one did you use? And I've got this Liquid Text one at the moment, masking fluid.
Hi,
In the
Mariah.
hope.
Mariah's here. And I know you asked in the PMartistStudio stream yesterday. I don't know if you
Yeah,
got a response.
no, I
But
didn't. No.
while Mariah's here, I want to make note of I snuck into Fran's YouTube account and neatened up the links for PMartistStudio, and hopefully I did it correctly. So if you take a look over there under the description, Mariah, and hopefully I didn't miss anything, and if I did, let me know. I'll be happy to put it in there. Okay, back to our regularly
Did
scheduled.
I do it wrong? I only copied up and pasted what you give me.
I know. And you work from the Kindle or phone, and it's a struggle. So I just decided this morning to, you know what, I'm just going to log in. I haven't been in a while to take a look, but I logged in, and so I could get those links in there correctly, make them look pretty. Or
Yeah,
yeah, and I
yeah.
added the Facebook
Format
PMR
them a
Studio.
bit. Right, now the first thing I'm going to do, see, I've done this one on tea bag paper. And in fact, I've got one more like that. There we are, that one. Because I actually went to the bother of doing the green bits in green and then doing the great bits in purple. So we'll keep that one there so we can see what we're doing. What I want to do now is shrink this one and see what happens. Yes.
So you're going
I
to
could
shrink
always
that
put
down in
things.
front of our eyes? Do we get to see the
Could
magic
always
of
do
it?
things and put them underneath this part of my desk to flatten them if necessary, or even just under this this here thingy, this here sea white thingy pad.
Hi,
Now
Paula.
before I do, I'm gonna blacken this eye here. Hi Paula. And I will be showing some stencils today.
I'm so glad you're here with us, Paula. It's nice to see you. So no positive response on the question you asked.
Oh well, never mind.
Did you go around YouTube and do a search, just putting that in there?
No, I didn't. I can do that sometime, but that just gives me more definition. It is a lie. That's all I'm worried. So let's go back to these two. So that one's on tea bag paper, and what I mean by tea bag paper is.
Hi, Barbara.
Down somewhere, haven't I? God dear. I've only got to sort of breathe funny, and I put things down somewhere, and you don't know where they are. Just let me have a look. I might have put it up there. Oh, I have got some tea bags, but what I used is actual tea bag paper. So it's not the same colour as this. This is sort of brown. I could have done that, but I didn't.
It's noisy.
Yeah, sorry about that. Well, when I find the tea bag paper, probably when I'm doing some printing, because I've got the big plates here in the way, so it might be there.
So Mariah missed your question. It was about.
It was, has anybody used an acrylic masking fluid? The only one I've ever used has been a watercolor masking fluid for watercolors. I wondered if this worked as well, or was there a particular brand anybody liked? You know, that kind of question.
Yeah. I know, like I said, I know you asked in PMartistStudio stream yesterday, but it may have gotten lost in the chat. Hi, Diane. Welcome.
So there we are, tea bag paper, and it's just rather like tissue, this stuff. It is just like tissue. You can see what I've cut that bit off.
Mariah says she has not, and Paula says she uses Vaseline. Yeah, so.
What for?
As a masking fluid?
The mask, really?
Interesting.
I've used Vaseline as a resist, but not in quite the same way, not for detailed things. You can see it's rather like tissue or rice paper or something. That sort of.
You know, I think someday in the future, Paula's going to be retired, and then maybe we can get Paula to do videos.
You never know.
If she hasn't lost her memory by then.
Right, so I'm gonna be noisy now.
Do you want to go mute while you do that?
Yeah, I will do that. Okay.
Okay. Well, then this is a good time for me to show my stuff, a few pieces, right? You're not going to be. It's not going to take that long. I think I'd rather just sit here and watch that so I don't miss anything. Ooh. Ooh. Uh-oh. See, that's what I thought. You have to leave it alone and let it be able to curl, because that's where it's shrinking into itself. But then again, yeah. Huh. Thank you, Barbara. I'm amassing another bag of goodies. I'm going to come over here. I'm amassing. I'm putting together another bag of goodies. I thought I showed you guys the other day. Just sitting here fiddling. More feathers like I sent Fran. Whatever you want to call them. And then just odd stitched stuff. Weird. Hi, Judy.
Sorry, I thought I pressed the button. I've been talking. Here, look how much it's intensified the color. You can see that color has become that color. You can see the bit and the bit that hasn't. So we'll continue.
Yeah, because Diane says if you keep eating it, it will eventually straighten out. That's the part that's like, when do you know to stop? I've always known them to go in the oven and just let them be. It freaks me out when they curl up. I'm like, oh, I broke it. It's no good. No. And that's getting really thick. The thing is if you put it in the oven, you wouldn't be able to reach in there and hold it while it was shrinking up. So, but I know you got to hold it so it doesn't blow away.
Yep, so there we are. So that's how small that one gets compared with...
Yeah, you just had the other one. Where'd it go? There it is.
What it's done.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's intensified the colours beautifully. I really like that. So that can easily go on there now and leave plenty of room for other things. Or it can go on the little one, which I don't know where I put it, but it's around here somewhere. Or it could simply go in the journal. It doesn't have to go on the corner of the demi thing, the demonstration. Sorry. The, what's the word? Specimen holder.
Yes.
It doesn't have to go on the specimen holder. It can just go in the journal itself.
So,
because I've got this is not decorated, so I can put that there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've got a couple of them, so and I can always stamp more, no problem. And I've got all these other bits to use as well.
And Mariah said they made fish once with the Shrinky Dinks. And I know Fran showed me before we went live, she showed me some that she had made. They were dangles or whatever you want to call them, that you made them.
Yep, these actually had a hole punched in them, that one.
Too close.
Well, actually, what it had was I cut the corner of the stamp out on that particular shell at the top corner there.
Nope, there you go. Now you're better.
There we go. You can see that's where the little thread went through. So, and that was done with, where'd it gone?
Got it.
I did show you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one. You can see that it's reversed, but I stamped that with two stamps. I put text stamp on first, and then I stamped this, or the other way around, but both show through, you see, because I use the same color. See the text just behind the shells. See?
Yep. Colleen, Fran watched Sharon Saturday, and
it reminded me of that shrink plastic, and I went, oh gosh, yeah.
And
I thought that would be a brilliant idea for this, because what I was looking at was that little bit bigger than I wanted, really. I mean, you can see that it overshadows that. Maybe I want that. I don't know. I'm still thinking about whether I want that or not. And I've also got the corners, but of course they will shrink down as well and become teeny weeny. So they might be better on the little singular specimen holder for just one specimen. But maybe not. We'll see.
So Diane, are you saying that you can run the Shrinky Dink stuff through a inkjet printer?
There is stuff you can do that with, a particular brand, I think.
See, I have a laser printer, so I don't think I could do that. But I found one of our old inkjets downstairs, and if I can get it to work, I can hook it up. Who's messaging me?
Look at my sweet little froggy. Isn't he lovely? He's so small now. And that would be hard to carve at that size. So using shrink plastic, oh gosh, I keep trying to put away a bit of cardboard. It's falling on my feet. So using shrink plastic gives you another option for size. Now that's a bit bendy there, you can see. All you've got to do is heat it up again.
Candy has a question. Is the tea bag paper? Huh? Go ahead and do it.
This way. Just turn it over. Now, if I'm quick enough.
So Candy's question is the tea bag paper that you showed, is it sheets or is it pockets?
It's sheets. It's these are pockets, but the paper I just showed is actually just sheets. It's just the paper. It's not. It's wet strength, and it's from Art Van Gogh ages ago, 45p, probably loads more than that now. I must have bought this about 20 years ago, I reckon. It is just like tissue, but it's a different sort of look to it than it's sort of a cross between tissue, Carnival's tissue and rice paper. It's sort of got the feel of rice paper, and it says wet strength, so it's obviously got the strength of Carnival. So lovely. I mean, it's huge sheets, huge sheets. Woohoo! You know, it keeps going.
Hi, Eddie.
And that was 200 centimeters by 30 centimeters, plain perforated. Which just means the texture, I think, the perforation. Very little of it. I mean, you can see my hand through it. And it's fine. Stamps just perfectly fine. You know, depends on the ink you're using, obviously. I mean, I stamped this one with one green ink. I think it was one of the Adirondack ones. And this one I stamped with a StazOn. Now, the StazOn's got more definition in it than it's the green I'm talking about in the background. Afterwards, I went over it with my black StazOn ink, which is why that's now got a nice impression. Show you. You see?
Yep.
There's a pale green in the background. That one just flooded. It didn't do anything. Rather in the way that this one flooded. But I can go over that with something else and then shrink it and see what happens. Like that one that we just did. Let me pop this tea bag paper away.
Yes, I agree. I watched it, Eddie, and left you a comment. Your video on the IMPPs and the lasers and all the fun you had. You love Brayer.
So I'm going to shrink a couple more, but I won't be doing much more of this because it's just something you do as a routine, you know. But I want to see how some of these turn out. Like, for instance, let's do the less good one to see what happens. It's good to stick it on as it is. That one. And where's the other one that I just shrunk? Oh, it's under there, of course, isn't it? Yes. So let's try this one that says journal. That's using my little stamp that I carved. Yeah, it's great. This sort of one is great for going into embossing powder and making a indented word. Yeah.
You're giving me ideas for my. I have erasers that I'm going to try.
Good, good. Yeah, that went really well, that one, didn't it? Where's the other one? There we are. Now you can see the difference between the two. Look at that. And it's intensified. That's a different colour, but not by much. It was much the same colour when we looked at it. I can't remember what it was now, because when it intensifies, it doesn't look the way it did when you stamped it. So I sort of sit there and go, yeah, what? Now this one is a large fuchsia from a large fuchsia stamp, that size obviously. So let's see how that shrinky poos down.
Shrinky poo.
Shrinky poo.
Just like that.
It does uncurl, you see.
Yeah.
Lovely. That. Oh, it looks so much more, so much nicer, doesn't it? It's got more crispness about it.
Colleen says she thinks a solvent ink would be best for.
Well, that's what the StazOn is.
Yeah. Yeah. When she uses StazOn, it stays on. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's why it's called
And
StazOn.
whoever said it, I agree. I think those look like clematis.
Yeah, they could well be.
Wow.
I'm not so happy about this size, this shape of one curling up like that, because it might stick, and it does sometimes, and you just need to heat it again and unstick it. There we are, uncurling.
Wow.
Oops, I've just got to undo that bit. Sticking together. Careful you don't hurt yourself if you try and get at this while it's still a bit hot. Lovely, there we are. Now, so long as it stays flat, if it doesn't stay flat, just do what I did with this other one under here. Let's see if we can get that one out now, the froggy. And you stick it under something like that.
Yeah.
To flatten it out. And then you can put it on, and if it's not flat, you just do it again until it is. You can then stick it onto something like that. So I can have my little froggy down there, or there.
Off camera.
Have my little flowers on there.
Oh.
And I can have my little fuchsia there. And I can have...
Where's that corner piece?
There's the journal. That should go on the journal itself. In fact, I should probably do one. Now, where's the other bit? Oh, it's there. There we are. There's the cornery piece.
There you go.
Now, I want to do one of these because I want to see how much it shrinks and whether it will still be usable or whether I should do it on the other little thingamy. I'm not sure where I put the other little thingamy. It'll be around, so I'll probably find it when I'm moving things for the gel plate. Bring in the gel plate. Okay, let's see. Fun, isn't it, when it curls up like that?
Judy says, "Oh geez, don't tell me I have to get my stamps and shrinky dink stuff out now. I swear, my squirrel supposed to be vacuuming, and now I'm watching Fran."
I kind of like that, you know. That little. I thought it might be a bit too small, but actually it's not, is it? It's quite fine. I did make 4 of them, so I could use them on all 4 corners. Oh, and I've got these teeny weeny little flowers. Little tiny ones. And these are part of a set, as you can tell, because they're similar. You know, they're all same set. And I want to colour in some of these before I start shrinking those.
Okay.
But these are already coloured in.
Just to clarify, all of these are created with stamps that you did, that you made.
Yep, that I carved. Yes, exactly.
Okay, Paula, you could take us with. Look at the difference. Wow.
Those 2 are the same. And that one is the same as the other one, which has gone for a little walk. Oh, well, it'll turn up. So I want to do this one to see how well it works. That's nice. I like that one. It'll intensify the colours, and I really want to see that. Lovely. Look how rich it looks now. Isn't that great? So I'll leave it there to dry because it's sticking.
2 questions. Diane
Right.
wants to a recap. What ink was used for the stamping?
I used a variety of inks, and the ones that didn't work so well were the Adirondack. I've got a whole load of stamps down here.
And we're talking on the Shrinky Dink paper that she's using. Now, your Shrinky Dink product may be different.
This one says it shrinks 7 times smaller, 7 times thicker.
But what you get over there in the UK and what we get over here,
it's from Amazon, so it may be a bit. This is definitely from Peterhead in the UK, so I don't know whether it's the same as you get there. It's not called Shrinky Dinks. This one it's just called.
I don't know, Candy. I know what Sharon used, the Shrinky Dink stuff that Sharon used Saturday. She said the package said it shrunk 3 times, or somebody in chat gave us that info. It would shrink down to 3 times its normal size.
I'd like to find one that shrinks at a different rate just to see what difference it makes.
Well, that's what Candy
white sprinkles.
Yeah, would they make shrinks that are like 5 times?
That's what I want to know. That's exactly what I want to know. I want to figure it out. Let's pop it in there because I want to keep it nice and clean. I've also got some of the clear. I think that was what Sharon was using, the clear, but I'm only using the white.
I think you're right. And then Judy asked, is it super hard to make your own stamps? It seems it would be difficult. Might you do a video? It really is.
I can do it.
Yeah, it isn't difficult. I've done it. I'm a little more careful these days because I do have a twitch in my hand, my right hand, which is where I favor. Yeah, that doesn't work out so well.
Look at this. That's got mushroom on it, and it's not great. Not so good. And I think I used, I'm not sure what the red was. Was the red an Adirondack? But these, unfortunately, I don't know what these are. I think they're refills for the Stays On. That's what I think they are, because they're in my Tim Holtz inks case in the other room. And I just put them into an ink pad because I wanted to try out the colours. So I haven't got all of these in these. I've only got some of them. So I've got 3 here. I've got here Viridian. I've got that one in here somewhere, Viridian. This one is Vivid Chartreuse. I do not have that original stamp pad by Stays On in Chartreuse. And this is Paradise Teal. I don't think I've got that one either. I've got a teal, which is the archival garden patina. And I've got the other one, the Stays On one. There we are. Stays On one. That stamp's nice and clear, that one. The solvent ink Stays On one. But I've also used these little ones, and these are quite nice as well. They're also Stays On. Emerald City, that one, that colour. Fast drying solvent ink. It's the same as these, but it's a smaller ink. And this one's quite nice as well. It's a red St. Valentine's.
I think it's also going to depend not just the ink, but on the type of plastic that you're shrinking on.
Well, they did say in the pack to stamp on the rough side, not on the smooth side. So that's something else to think about.
Something else, if that's an option. And I know, like Karen said, there's household plastics. There's fast food plastic packaging that we can get that we can shrink. I think there's a number.
I never even thought to look for that, so I'll have to have a good look around for that. So now, this one, you can see how I was telling you, it's got different
mushroom.
result. Like this is quite clear. This is quite clear. It hasn't really gone. Those are the stays on ones. These are these Adirondack ones. They're acid free. What are they? They're dye-based inks, fade resistant, and quick drying on all types of paper. Doesn't include this though.
Yeah, so I would
So,
think trial and error.
I wouldn't use the Adirondack. I'd go for the stays on, or I use the archival as well. This Ranger archival ink that will work quite well. That is not that one. That's another one of the Adirondack.
So when you heat it up to shrink it, does it give with the inks? Does it give off fumes?
No, it never has that I know of. If it does, it'll be something in the new stuff that wasn't there before, possibly. I don't know. I don't smell anything when it's being shrunk.
Okay, fix the camera.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I was showing.
Yep, you were.
Showing me box, my knee.
So to go up to where Judy talked about carving, I'm going to show you. Judy, I have a speedball carver, so it has a nice thicker handle round one, but I have a whole set of these. I have about 5 or 6 more upstairs, and these are the things I use to carve. It's a rounded blade. I don't know if you could see that well. And there's a bigger one.
Let me make you solo, then we can see if you hold it up on your hand like that. Yeah. No, the other way, like that. Yeah, that's easier to see there.
Yeah, and then you can see the curve.
Turn it. Yeah, you can turn it to see the curvature.
Yep, and they're big and small. And I was telling Fran, because I watched her a few weeks ago, I have a big, giant soft eraser that I got from Dollar Tree. And I know I can carve with this. I just have to go slow. And I'll just show you, just like that. Oh, maybe I can't. But I have some white ones. There, just dig into it. I have to go slow because my hands hurt. So
yeah, it's better to go slow anyway, because then you've got more control. You don't make so many mistakes.
Right, and don't try to go too deep in one shot. Do it in layers because it's safer.
Yes, exactly. Yes, right. And try to carve away from your design, because otherwise you can undercut. You know, so that's the design. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, you did it. This is the design. This is my tool, right? Don't carve like that. Carve like that, away from the design. You could carve like that, but be very careful when you're doing that. I prefer to do something like to cut along there, and then use the tool to gouge out up to the cut. And I also use a needle tool, which is a surgeon's needle. You can get online, because I did. And that's got a very nice little blade at the end, which is like much smaller than a lino tool, which is what we normally use, right?
These are leather. I believe mine that I was just showing you were for leather, because I used to do leather, like stuff like that. So, and I just kept them and use them when I need to for cutting into the erasers. The white erasers I've found are the softest, but it's hard to get them in a good big size. So I thought I'd try this rainbow one. We'll see.
I'm just going to do a couple more. I can't stop doing it. It's like doing embossing when you use the wet embossing powder on the embossing ink. It's just such fun watching it work. Now that's quite intensely carved.
If you do shrink inks, keep in mind the percentage that it shrinks. So if you have a small flower and you want it to shrink, it's going to go near disappear.
Well, that's why I was sort of trying these out, because I particularly wanted to use pan, but he is quite nice. And but he's got not very strong definition in the carving of the features and the leaves, the
Right.
veins in the leaves. So it's not a great deal of detail in there, and you lose what you do get when you shrink it down because it all compresses
Yep.
and all the lines become almost invisible. You can see where there's eyes if you look, and they're there. But otherwise, I would need to carve something with more definition, and I would probably want to carve something like the word specimens or something to go on the top there in one of my rubbers erasers.
Hi,
I can put
Trish.
on there. I'm liking how these are turning out. They turned out really nicely.
Yeah, Mariah said that was her gripe about the shrinking, is losing the details.
Yeah, well, this one has detail carved in it, this flower. There is another flower somewhere where I didn't carve so much detail, so I didn't even bother stamping it.
It's just a reminder. What I'm thinking is, like, when we do stencils, when you create the stencils, and Mariah knows this, you want stencils that have some like the hairy violets in the face, the gaps, the openings for the paint to come through is very small. So you want to make sure you push in on that so it shows up on the paper. So when you make stencils, you want bigger areas. So there's I'm not explaining it well, but it's a similar process.
You want broader lines than I've got in that face that I showed you just a second ago. You want broader lines to create bigger. It's like doing a design for a Mariah. You want broader lines.
Yep.
Bigger lines. That should be recarved if you wanted to use something like that for this, because you can see that it's just lost most of it. Very little detail left.
Yep, it looks like a dot from here. Nothing but a green dot.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Now, somewhere I've got the one I wanted to show you that I wasn't going to use for that kind of reason, but can I find it? Heck no. I probably put it away. It's more like that, but with this piece filled in just to be a blob. So that's what you want with those nice white lines showing.
Over here, yeah.
Not the quality one. It's probably back in the box now, the other one.
Hi, Lisa.
Right. So I'm going to do this one because this one's a much smaller flower than this one was. You remember the size of that? So let's see how much shrinks.
Oh, there it goes. Hold on. Now, what are you thinking on polymer clay, Carla? How are you thinking of do you mean like doing a stamp on polymer clay? And would it disappear when you baked it? I think I've seen. Ooh.
Let me turn that over.
How is it?
Probably ginger. Probably Ginger Allman Davis.
Well, she does Blue Bottle Tree.
Blue Bottle Tree, yes, she does.
Yeah, but Christy Friesen is who comes to mind, and then there's the other lady that I've watched a lot of, and
there's another one of those. That's not too bad. I quite like how small they are. I wasn't sure I was going to, but I think I do.
polymer clay tutor. That's
yes, the Canadian lady.
Yeah,
Canadian.
really nice.
Lindsay.
And there's Cindy Leeds and
I'm not going to do this because I'm going to add more detail to these to salvage them before I turn them into shrunk ones. And there's fair detail on there, but I want to go over it with some pens and see what that does. So I'll do that. But in the meantime, let's clear everything up for now, because we've now got some quite nice effects there that you can get more detail by shrinking it down. But of course, if you haven't got the detail in the stamp to begin with, all you're going to end up with is less detail.
Those will look really nice for your botanicals.
Yep, there we go. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. There we are. So there you go. That's what you can achieve with shrink plastic. And I think they're going to look great on here. And I might put some of the printed ones down as well and put these on top because they will sort of emphasize. If I put that on there and then that on top.
There's a link, Paula, for Cindy Leeds. Sound like a no, she's polymer clay tutor.
Polymer clay, that's right. Yeah.
And Patty Tolly Parrish, just in case anyone's wondering, she's done polymer clay tutorials too. So anyway, sorry, Fran.
I'm gonna get rid of all these because I want to get on with some thingy pushes. Gel plating thingy pushes. Whee! Put them all on there. There we are. There's the other one I was looking for all that time. Right there next to me after all.
Where? Show us. Where you're on camp. Oh, there it is.
Yep. So I can put the little things on there. No problem. I think that would look quite nice, quite elegant. Mm-hmm. And that way, of course, I can spray on these because they're just white gesso now, and I can get colour on there and then put these on top, and I'll have beautiful definition from that. Much better than I could possibly carve. So I've got better definition by doing that than I would have been able to get otherwise. There we go. Let's remove
Carla said if she was going to put the shrinky dink on polymer clay, she'd shrink it first and then apply it to the raw clay and then bake it. And my question is, then you're cooking it twice as long as it needs to be done. Would that burn it?
Not unless you put it too high a temperature. You can rebake polymer clay any number of times.
No. I would be talking about baking.
Oh, you might. Yes, you might. Yeah, baking the shrinky dink would maybe discolor slightly. I would, that's why I said no. I would not put it. I would not shrink the shrink plastic and then put it on the polymer clay raw in order to bake the polymer clay with it on. No, I'd bake the polymer clay and I'd shrink the plastic and then put the two together when they're done.
Yep. And I use polymer, the liquid polymer, so that would work. Or a safe adhesive. Yeah, I wouldn't bake it again. I'd be concerned about burning.
Yeah, I wouldn't bake the shrink plastic a second time. No. You can heat it a second time, but you've got to heat it. I think you need to heat that at a different temperature than you would polymer clay. I'm not sure. It might be that you need to heat shrink plastic at a higher temperature than polymer clay, because polymer clay cures at something like 230, quite low. Can't remember if that's F or C. Sorry, it's just me not knowing. Right, now I've started on my little thingy. I'm going to put these little bits in here and my little
glowworm
caterpillar. My little glowwormy caterpillar. Yes. And I'm going to
This is
remove that out of the
this is
way.
her tube box, like Patricia was
Yeah.
making.
Well, I put this bottom on. It wasn't on before in the little one. I've got the ones on the big one, but I don't know where I put it. There it is, right in front of me. There you go. They've got those two bits. I just need to colour these and put something on them, and either gesso them and spray them, or and put texture paste on, or whatever, or collage, or whatever I want to do. So I've got a big one here, plate. I get a big plate here that I need to pull because it's got some simply gorgeous paint on there from when I did the runes, the carved runes, rune blocks.
We'll have to back up a little bit to give us the full shot.
I will. I'm just trying to get rid of all the bits that are falling on there. I'm going to damage my plate if I let them fall on the plate.
You know, here's the thing about fire extinguishers. The stuff that comes out of a fire extinguisher may not necessarily be something you want to breathe either. So it might be the lesser of the two evils will just be breathe the fumes of the plastic or whatever, or the ink. Seriously, consider a fire extinguisher.
I think it's better, if you're worried about it at all, I think it's better to get yourself somewhere with ventilation that you can do it, like outside in the summer and the fresh air on the table like you would where you're doing eco printing. No problem.
I mean, if you're gonna use a heat gun, you could take that outside. Now, for my polymer clay, like I said, I use 2 square aluminum foil baking pans clipped together with bulldogs and ceramic tile inside, and I lay my ceramic pieces on that, pop it in the oven. It's like a mini oven. So, and I don't open it immediately when I take it out of the oven. I let it cool down a bit, so it's not.
Didn't you say that you take yours out when you tent it with the foil and clip the foil together, and then you take it out the oven and then take it outside like that, then open it up after it's cooled down outside? That way you take any fumes that might be there out.
Well, and the other thing is the polymer clay has to be baked. So there's going to be, the only thing I'm concerned about is the fumes sticking to the wall of my oven. Hence, I make a portable oven. Because I don't want, if there are any fumes, even slight, I don't want them sticking to the wall of my oven and permeating food. But it's supposed to be cooked. And you can take the polymer clay directly out of the oven hot and throw it in ice water, and it'll immediately cool it down. There's that to be done too.
Oh, sorry, bit's falling over. Let me get that out of the way. And the pliers.
Yeah, baking soda and salt is a great fire extinguisher. I had firemen in my family, and the concern for fire extinguishers and the foams that they use, the firemen's use. Woohoo!
I've got some paper ready off my sea white ready. Just got to think I'm going to put on here to pull this one.
It won't crack. If it cracks and breaks, you've overcooked it. Polymer clay is supposed to be a bit pliable.
Or you didn't condition it enough before you baked it.
Yes, exactly. I've done that. I've not conditioned it enough, which is why I like having my pasta machine now.
I've got a box full of polymer clay pieces laid out on a ceramic tile ready to cook, and I can't cook them because they've been in there so long that they are now not conditioned, even though they're made into things. So what I've got to do is recondition the clay and start again, because they'll just break the minute I cook them. So what am I going to pull this with? I think I might pull them with something like the Titan Green Pail, or what else can I put it with? Iridescent Pearl? No, I don't think so. But I've also got Parchment, Liquitex Basics. I could try that. That might pull it quite nicely.
I'm going to come on camera.
Gold.
A
Gold.
while back, Anne asked me to show my setup for my polymer clay. It's just generic aluminum pans that you could get at the dollar store or wherever. And I usually put a ceramic tile down here because I don't want to lay polymer clay on these pieces and have it take that printing with it. So a ceramic tile will hold the heat too. So I put that down in there, cover it up, bulldog clip, one on each side. Pop it in the oven and cook it like that. That's all I do. And then when it's done, or I think it's done, I take it out, and I can immediately take the piece out and put it in cold water to cool, or just leave it set in here until it cools. Mini oven. That's what I mentioned a while back, for Anne, and you asked me to show you pictures. There you go.
I'm just going to go for it.
Go for it.
Parchment. I've not tried this one yet, but let's see what it does, whether it can pull that up.
You're welcome. Yeah, parchment, by the way, you kept saying that, and I'm like, I have some. I know I have some, and I do.
Mm-hmm.
I have a big tube of Artist Loft parchment, so it's I think it's a Hobby Lobby brand. But it did the trick. You may have seen it on one of those polls that I showed you. Colleen, I don't play with polymer clay as much as I used to because of my hands, but I miss playing with it. I need I have little ladybugs that I like to make and glue onto ATC cards and stuff, and I'm all out, so I need to make a new batch.
I need another sheet. I haven't got another sheet. What shall I do? Sheet. Oh, you're not being tortured like me. I'm being tortured. His Lordship's making sausage casserole.
Oh, and you can't have it?
Well, it's not finished yet. Oh, he does make it so I can have some. And he's decided he weighs too much and he's going to go on to cauliflower rice instead of real rice. So we've got some fresh cauliflower rice, which would be perfect with it.
You know, that's a good idea. I love rice with beans, and it's good for me because I don't eat a lot of meat. So cauliflower rice is good, but I like to get cauliflower more when it's in season.
Mm-hmm. Right, I'm going to leave this now to set. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Set to cure. You know what I mean? To cure. And I'll do the other one, and then we can get on and do some fresh stuff with some nice new stencils.
Diane, I like to take polymer clay, and I have scraps pieces, so I just roll them out into long strings, and then I take a bunch of those and twist them around back and forth and squish them and then cut them, and it's like beautiful designs, but they're abstract.
These are the hairs, this one. I did last week.
Very nice.
I think I would do that with iridescent blue fine on black paper.
Okay.
I probably yeah. Let me just cut some black paper. I'll have to get some black paper because I want to get the whole thing, and it will go off on the paper I've got ready cut. So it won't be a second.
And just to be
so room, I want to be long.
Yep. Just to clarify, these are Paula's hairs. Just stencils by Paula, and I post link over there by the description is the link to the shop, and over there by the description is the link to PMartistStudio YouTube channel, their Instagram, the Etsy shop if you want to go in that way, and we do have the makers group. I don't have that link down there, but you know we have the makers group, but PMartistStudio also has their own Facebook channel. And that's all over there. I'm Mullocks.
Now then, I'm going to cut this piece here. It's going to be big enough to pull the whole thing off.
Thank you, Mariah. Okay, Trish, tell Evie we said hi. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the thumbs up, everyone. We appreciate it.
So, iridescent blue fine. I had to pull this one with. Oh, it would be helpful if I first shook it up.
Paula's working on runes too. Any suggestions, anybody?
Semic writing.
Oh, I love that.
Still got a little bit of the parchment on there. That's okay. It's going to give me a nice effect, I think. I'm going to put more on because I don't think I'm going to get it all off otherwise. There's too many holes. That's better. I didn't think I put enough on before. That's much better. So I've got the parchment off the roller. It's going to have an effect as well.
Mm-hmm. So here's my question then. Talking about the acrylic masking fluid, what doesn't, I mean, Liquitex, yours is Liquitex and they sell it. Don't they have a video or a
I had to look at I just thought I'd ask people if they cross it. Personal opinion, you know.
Well, I do like personal opinion. Helpful. Yeah.
Right. Here we go. There we are. Lovely.
I enjoyed my weekend. I did a lot of gel printing.
Let me just go into it with this, get as much down as I possibly can. You can see the lines it makes when you do that.
Wow, and you're causing rippling. You're pushing down too hard.
Am I? Oh dear.
Oh.
Well, that's just with it being wet, you see.
Yep.
We'll put it down. We probably need to use some matte medium to get that up afterwards. But that we can cope with when the time comes. But it's going to look pretty decent, I think.
Okay. I have to say something.
Yeah?
Turn it around.
Sorry. They are happy?
Yes. Because believe it or not, I don't usually say anything, but I'm like Mariah. Why would you show it to us upside down?
Yeah, sorry.
I don't think I have OCD. I just have a preference. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Why not? You can have a preference if you like. And if I was closer, I could hit you over the head with a wet haddock. But there we are. It's easy to just turn it over for you.
Beginning to think you and P are twin sisters separated at birth.
Right. So let's get some of those little plates out. And I have got some smaller paper, which will go over it nicely, I think. Same sort of paper. Let's have a look at what we've got. Absolutely nothing but the remnants of some Posca pens. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make any problems with it. They will probably come up. That's an idea. Hey, let's have a go. Let's see if it will come up. and it was also condition the plate at the same time.
Yeah. Massage it.
So
Get your
try
fingers
that.
in there. So today's stream is about Monday Maundering Mullocks. Did I say that correctly?
Monday Maundering Mullocks, yes.
Okay. Sounds
I
better.
don't think maundering is a word, but it could be made a word.
So
I was
today,
thinking about Monday for some reason, don't know why. And maundering to me means sort of mournfully wandering about.
okay. Well, so last week we showcased some stencils. So today is another showcase for another PMartistStudio designer. This one being our lovely Paula.
No, we've just shown the pools of last week's, which was Paula's.
This is true. You haven't showcased.
What I'm going to do today is do somebody else's.
Yes, you are.
Yes, we've done Paula's.
But I should have said that.
Really.
What she's showing now is the hairs.
The hairs on my plate, yeah.
When I say it my way, it sounds so weird. But she's showing hairs from Paula. These are Paula's hairs. Oh, I don't even know.
The pool that we've just put on the back burner to cure it is from Paula's hairs and from Paula's rooms as well. So I need another one of those. It's all soaky wokey, that one. Just want to pull up some more of it. And there's a hair that I want to get off. Come on, hair, off you get. See, we're taking the hairs off. Dog hairs.
And I showed you the torn pulls that I had. Oh man, I had a mess on the plate too. That I had bits got left on there and bits got left on the roller. It was like
yeah.
2 pulls later, and I'm still finding bits. Just ruined my.
Well, to make sure I don't have too many bits on this one, I'm going to go over this edge with tape. Which I've already got some taken off, but I'm going to do the edge there. Of course, when there's still some oil on the plate, it won't come up quite so well. But if it won't come up, then it won't come up. You know, well, why bother about it?
Yeah.
That's enough. That's enough fussing about. Nearly used a bad word there. There we go. Let's get out.
You won't let me sing that song.
No. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I'm not saying anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Right. I have here a packet. Here we go. I'm going to do today Darcy Saunders.
Yay!
Now let's just see if I can get this stuff out, because I've got a feeling that they're all muddled up now. There is Bitsy Bobsies. There's one. You can see one. Woo, there's one. There's two. There's a third one. How many have we got? So we've got that one, and we've got that one. That is that one.
Darcy's mushrooms. And I got to say, I have 2 things in my PMartistStudio cart right now waiting for paycheck, and one of them is Darcy's. Sure, we could speak. It's not hard. Peacock swirls.
Oh, peacock swirls. Lovely.
But you're making me really fall in love with her mushrooms.
The mushrooms are so nice. I couldn't resist them.
Yeah.
Well, of course, I've taken those out of there, and now I can't find the other. How many more am I missing? 2, aren't I? Might be down the bottom of the packet. Oh, and there's one. And there is the other one. Lovely. We got them all. Hooray. So let's see what we can do with these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mushrooms. I'm going to use the smaller plate. I wish that these would come in a smaller version as well. I like the big ones, but I would like them in a smaller version too.
Right, they are. They're Diane says you could create a scene with these and some fairy stamps. Absolutely. So print them all off. These are
If they were a bit smaller, like that sort of size, they would be great for ATCs, and you could do it on this sort of size plate, the 8x10. That's just a suggestion.
well, see, if you use these on Shrinky Dink and use the dauber to stencil them, then you could Shrinky Dink them down to the size.
Very likely. Yeah.
Although, how would acrylic paint? No, you'd have to use your ink to dauber the stencil.
I think you'd have to use ink, yes.
Yes. So there's a thought. So they can be used in that way.
I can only 5 on at once on this size, but I'm going to use this size because I've got lots of these plates. And the other 2 are now sitting over there, gestating.
So here's the thought before you put paint down. The mushroom on the bottom left, if you move that over a little bit more, no, the mushroom on the bottom left, that's your right. Yeah, you went wrong.
I know.
What I was thinking of is if you in the end choose to tear them as collage, that way you have gap between each one, so you have somewhere to tear. Just a thought.
I can get the cap on there.
There you go. That's all right. A cap is good.
Yeah, look at that. Woohoo!
Good job.
Now I've got to take them all off again. Try to remember where I put them.
Well, I can freeze the screen so that I could tell you, but the truth is, by the time I got the words out of my mouth, you'd already have them placed someplace else.
Yeah. I've got some iridescent graphite here. I think I'm going to have a go with that later. But I want to smooth the paint.
Your camera's just there. You go, just a little wonky.
I want to smooth the paint than an iridescent graphite is likely to be, because I think it's going to be a bit sputty, and I want to make it smoother down first. So I've got a lovely red oxide. You know, I've got the parchment, and I've got some iridescent white, which might have a similar problem to the graphite. So what else have I got? I've got gold. That's not a bad thought, gold. Green grey. I like the green grey, and I rather like the blue grey. I have ordered the purple, but it has not arrived yet, so I can't use that one. I think I'm going to use this red oxide. That's what I think.
All right, this is Liquitex
Basics.
Basics. Okay.
Yeah, and it's opaque, that one.
Opaque, so keep that in mind. Paula's not here counting layers, but I'm trying to paint. I'm not writing down either. I'll have to come back and watch replay if I want to write anything down.
Using a smaller brayer because it's a smaller plate. Let me get that out of the way. You can see that it's Darcy Sanders and what the designs are. Nice patterns of that. Lovely. I want to put this somewhere. Oh, I know. I can put it on there. I've got a nice little empty box. I can stick it on the lid of. There we are. Goodo. Now, this one was sort of up here, wasn't it? Somewhere. And I think this one was over here. And possibly
That one was
that.
upside down or laying down. Well, go ahead, do it your way. You'll get there.
And that one won't
I
go
know how you can do it again too.
there.
There you go.
Doesn't matter about the stem so much.
It's kind of like probably the best way to do it is to like lay something down in the center and then work your way out. That way you know how much room you have.
Maybe, maybe.
Maybe, maybe, maybe.
Maybe. I can move that one a bit more over there. Try not to push them down too much, then you've got a bit of maneuverability. Right. Okay.
She listens to me so well.
Do I? Woo, that makes a change.
Maybe.
See white. This is just going to be a top surface one. It's not going to have so much definition because we haven't got any paint on top of the mushrooms yet. But we've got stencils down, so we can now use this to get the little balls in the little areas.
I know, Mariah. Just enough. And she knows it too. She's well aware. It comes so natural to her.
What I do right? I did something right. What I do?
Yeah, beautiful.
That's not bad, you know.
I
mean, not normally expect much out of the first pull, but that's not bad. That's this Liquitex Basics. It's quite interesting.
You know, I'd love to see a registration with those. I don't know if you could do it, but wouldn't that be nice?
Well, I might put back down onto it if I put that down on the, like P does, put it down on the thingy. But for that, I would need to pull something. Let's use the back of that because it's there.
I just love all the squiggles that she's incorporated in there. Just all the lines. And that's what I'm talking about when you do a stencil. You want that open area. That's what really defines it.
You want a combination of white lines, or in the case of when I make it, I put black lines.
And if you look at hers, she has
yeah, there's some lovely definition in there. Look at that. Well, just the second one. So let's put some nice colours on here. Blue grey. I'm using the basics because I want to try them out, you see. And the basics are a better cost-effective option, I think. Oh, go back, you little bitch, you.
That happened to me the other day, too. It's like, because they're so new.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I was so frustrated because, and then the paper stuck to it and tore my design. I'll have to show what I'm talking about. Where's that paper? Oh, that's not it. I showed you. I know I did. There. This is what happened to me. If you look, you could see the stamp or the stencil stuck. It tore the paper. This is torn paper here. This is not white space. It's where the paper tore up in here.
My problem, apart from it's flopping out like this all the time, is that I got so used to using the high flow that it's hard for me to concentrate on a different one.
It's so frustrating. Yeah, and Fran is, you know, we've talked about this. I know she's talked about, and I know Patricia and Mariah have too, about the stencil because they're so new yet that they will do that. And I don't know exactly what paints I used or what went wrong. I do know I have my dad, Harry Violet, and one of the alien plants.
Also a question of humidity where you are, isn't it?
Yeah.
And how long you wait before you do this. If you're sort of forever trying to peel things off the fire, then it takes time.
Yep. So I did do it again and did better. But yeah, it's that
So
those new stencils sometimes, not always. It doesn't always. Oh, that's beautiful.
I think next I put some gold down.
Hi, Martha. Welcome, welcome.
Look at that. Isn't that lovely? What a nice one. Super.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, here you go with your choice of colors that I just would never have. Oh, oh, oh.
It's all right. I can put him back down.
No.
Tell him to behave. You behave, you little beastie.
Paula has to go.
Oh, Paula, I'm
It's
so sorry.
dinner time. We don't want to cheat her from her dinner.
Yes, we do.
Love you, dear heart. Have a good dinner.
Yeah, have a great dinner.
Yeah. Fran will.
Sausages.
Yeah.
Be lucky if I'm
Which
good.
reminds me, I'll be right back.
Uh-oh. Something's happening in the cooking area. Right. So it's quite sticky, this gold paint. Let's be fast about it now. Put that down. And I'm going to take a less intense one off. So I'm just going to go over it like this. I'm not going to use the Ridgmaflick. I'm just going to press with my fingers. And then I'm going to peel this off by making sure that that stays down and that stays down. That one's down. And that one down. That one down. There we go. So that's not too bad. I quite like that. It's a bit sticky, but then I thought it was going to be. But there we are. And then I'm going to get this one. Which goes this way round. And put it down that way. And then turn this over and have a look if I can register it at all. That's as good as it's going to get, I reckon. A little bit off up the top here, but never mind. Now we can use this one and really push it in. Right, let's lift this off quick. I hope that these will stay down as well. That's better. They all stayed down. Wow. I like that. That's a double print on there now. On top of the red iron, the red oxide.
There you go. And even though they moved a bit, you're still a great pull. Great.
Not bad at all.
Not bad.
No.
I mean, I expected more of a halo. I see a little bit, but no.
Well, this is a different paint to what I normally use. I normally use the high flow.
Yes, you
If
do.
you want you need to use the high flow. Halos, clouds, and snow. So we can do something else with that, and then maybe I can stick this one down and get a bit more out of it. Let's see. What else can we use? Let's try the iridescent graphite, just because I've got some and I want to see what happens.
Okay.
Just don't do that. Naughty. Put that away. And let's have a look. Now we've got to be careful because we want to keep the thingies in position. Stencils. With gloopy paints, it seems to be do it slowly.
Oh.
And then put things back down when they flobby off.
Well, maybe they're saying it's time. How many layers are you going to do? But I think you could do more. It just needs. It's just that red isn't. It's not in here adhering to that red iron oxide or that red oxide.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever used that before?
No, it's a new one.
That's what I thought.
I've used red iron oxide, transparent red iron oxide, but not this Liquitex one.
Right. It's not sucking up the stencil like it should.
No, well, it's I put the red iron oxide on the bottom, didn't I?
Yeah. How'd that go?
It went like that.
Just like that.
Yeah. So it's not as gritty as I thought it might be, that graphite. So that's not so bad. It feels creamier on my finger than I thought it would be.
Is that what it is, Candy? Candy thinks that the stencils are just loving your brayer.
Yeah, obviously. So that's going to be down there. And that one's up there. Let's turn this over and see if we can get it down on somewhere around there.
Oh, no, you're upside down.
Yeah, I just realized that.
Would have been easier to turn the paper around, but okay.
Well, I've done it now.
Okay.
Could be interesting. See, I'm using up this sheet of paper. Very nice. As long as I don't put it on this side, then I know what's going on. Now these are called masks, these ones. I never know the difference between masks and stencils. They're just stencils.
Are they all there? Is that first one there? Or did it stick to
the
paper? No, the first one. Are you sure?
I'm positive, yeah. I can see it is.
Okay.
Just want to get the last one up before it's too late. This one here.
Well, it's not so much it's too much paint, because it's just going to have to get over it, because that's the way Fran does it, Eddie. So those stencils are just going to have to learn. But I think what it is the red iron oxide is the first layer. Look at that down on the bottom, and it's not holding the stencils down. But
I like that. That's nice. That's given me some rather nice.
Christy, welcome.
Where the stencil sucked up. I like it. It does look very mushroomy like this, doesn't it? I was thinking of going back to my idea of designing some mushroom stencils, which I had been thinking of way back. But when somebody else was doing mushroom stencils, I thought, no, leave it. Let them do some stencils. We'll see what happens.
Down better so that
I would do them in a different way, you see. I would go more towards the realistic end. But I do like these they're sort of 60s mushrooms, aren't they? With the psychedelia shapes.
Yep, that's the one I like. Yeah.
I do love that. I think they're marvelous.
They're more fantasy. They're just more.
Yeah, they are. Yes.
Yeah.
Trippy. Trippy. Now,
everybody knows Fran. With Eddie said that the flipping off onto your brayer, the stencils, it might be because of too much paint. And everybody in chat, or a whole bunch of them in chat, are saying, never, never, never. It's your trademark.
Yeah.
You have taught them well, Fran.
Well, these are nice and sticky on the bottom, these ones. Yeah. We'll see what we get with this. Now, this is looking interesting. I'm going to let that one dry, and we'll have a go with another plate. What time are we on? It's 8:30. Perhaps I shouldn't try another plate. Perhaps I should say that's it for today. But I want to play a game with high flow paints as well.
We're way over an hour. I wasn't even looking at the time. I'm sorry. You didn't remind me. So
Sorry.
anyway, these are Darcy's. The shop is in the link below. If you can't get to it, let me pull it up.
I like red of the red oxide look. That's lovely. I would probably think about pulling this with the iridescent white. This one, which is the same make. I think, but I'm not sure. It all depends what I feel like when it's dried, because you never know. I may change my mind. Oh, the purple one may arrive. You never know.
So here's the link specifically to Darcy's page with her stencils, which I happen to love.
I think they're wonderful.
Everybody's
very nice.
But yeah, these are beautiful. Good choice, Fran.
I love that she's got the different shapes. She's got the round caps, she's got the pointed caps, and she's got a flat cap.
Yep.
Lovely. Very nice indeed.
I know what it makes me think of. The candy mushrooms on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, well, there you go. Candy mushrooms. Super duper. Are you coming back?
Okay, and Carla wants to know which paint is giving it that beautiful sheen. What did you put down on the poll?
Iridescent. I put the iridescent graphite on. And I thought it might be a bit gritty being graphite, but no, it's smooth as anything. The iridescence is very fine in it. So, oops. There we go. That's better. Bigger. So that is a marvelous result, I think. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And another one to pull. So I got 4 out of that in just a few minutes. I think that's pretty marvelous. Wasn't there a black one somewhere? What happened to the black one? Somewhere there's a black one.
With the good Diane.
Oh no, that's the rabbits. That's the hair. I beg their pardon, Paula.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you for the wonderful thumbs up and the chat and the visit. And
I hope you enjoyed the things I've been doing, like the shrink plastic from Sharon's suggestion, and the tea bag printing, and my journal that I think is going to take quite a while because I got to wait for some lavender to be available. But maybe I'll just make a space for it and then get the lavender when the lavender's ready.
Yeah.
And Darcy's beautiful, beautiful mushroom stencils, which I think are fantastic. So there we go. That's us for today. We're cutting it short, these two, this one and Fridays, because I'm running out of time on StreamYard. I only use the free version. So, okie dokie, folkies. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. This is a bye.